Oh yeah, hugely so.
But still, that one was pretty good. In the Heights was also pretty good too. That's another one.
So I know we're getting into drafts, so we'll move on from it very swiftly. But I had a lot of friends who now work in the West End, so you get all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Friends in the West End.
I'm talking Phantom of the Opera and the Heathers. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I know someone in Hades Town too.
What's your point, Sam? We're gonna
okay, we don't have time. We'll have to leave this.
That's no point. You had no point. You just wanted to flex.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but no. All right. No. I did have a point, but it's gonna be. You know what? Do we want to do the point at this point?
No. Look, I'm gonna say probably Corki first pick coming in from Tanuan. There's none of the other AD mid laners are around. Wei has played a lot of the AP carries, so maybe a Karthus coming through. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the S tier kind of mid laners already picked through, and we're going to continue bullying Birdall for losing to a Fiora very hard. So that's why I know he's a Fiora player. I wonder if that's the inside joke about him losing.
Probably, yeah, that would make some sense actually. Yeah,
I think it was versus Ala that he had that CS deficit.
The Fiora just broke.
It was either that or Bin, one of the two. It was not very kind to him. And now he goes, all right,
Scar.
More frontline. Birdall is no longer the flanking.
Is
guy.
Scar in Poker Rogue?
Skorupi is. So if you count that, yes, which is closer actually to Skarna's
Skarna,
original design than the new Skarna, so maybe.
Did you see the joys of Captain Flowers dressed up as Skarna and trying to play Skarna with pincers on?
I did see that.
It was excellent, by the way, guys.
All right,
Shout out to the LCS content team.
So we did say that most of the S tier mid laners are out. Now, there aren't many teams playing Jace right now, but it is still one of those AD mids, which is fine. I think that against Corki doesn't cause as many problems as Tristana, who just hyper pushes and just leaves very quickly. So I think the Jace can survive against the Corki and farm up. We've seen Knight play it a couple of times, and that's been very effective. Both of these teams do need some magic damage somewhere, whether that's jungle or something like the Ziggs that's being hovered. They are very important. You need magic damage somewhere, especially when Skarna's locked in. You can't just go full AD into that.
So the Ziggs is in. You've already got an AD carry for mid lane. That's great news. Reminder again, this is Fearless Draft, so all of those picks you can see grayed out below the draft are also picks that the respective teams cannot pick. The opposite team still can. So to those who are still a little new to this, do keep your eyes on that.
I have to say, I have been warming up to Fearless Draft. I still think it's got issues. I think for games like this, I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah.
When I'm watching, BLG top ESOs, I do want to see everyone on their best champions all the time. But I think for games like this, forces teams to adapt, forces them to have a bit more depth and stop relying on just, blinding an Udyr or a Cassante.
Yeah, and you're seeing double engaged supports come on through before I continue my musing on Fearless Draft. I think my experience has been, and my general consensus has been, what Fearless Draft does a really, really good job of is highlighting teams with great pocket picks or players with really cool champions that they might not otherwise be able to pull out. If you have got a Fiora player, it is possible in Game 3 to make that a reality on a much more easy front. It's the reason I bring up things like Xiaoye plays a really good Draven, a really good Samira. It's a lot easier to really force those good angles because the easy answers are often played outside because the meta kind of gets banned away.
Point. No, I can understand that. And, plenty of mid laners are like that too, particularly when we had the Azir Corki meta as well. That became, quite choking in its own way, and that can definitely starve out some of our variety. Now, we're getting a lot of different bans coming through. Two very different bans coming through from LGD in regards to either matching tank with the Cassante to the Skarna or trying to kill the Skarna with the Twisted Fate. The Rumble and the Mordekaiser are the last two kind of lane answers to the Skarna if RNG want to play towards a lane winning composition against Skarna. They've not really been that kind of team. Shire on the other side, he might have to go towards one of those specialty picks because the Kai'Sa and the Ezreal are gone. The problem with something like a Draven is that it's really hard to get to the Ziggs. Are we getting a Fearless Draft special? Are we getting Stinky?
But I say Shire is one of those AD carrier players who does have a little bit of something to it. It's an LDL special. We all know these players do it. He locks it in.
XDD's in chat. All right, we're getting Stinky.
Cadron?
We are getting Stinky today, folks. Shire locks in the Twitch. Has an Alistar that can block for him. Has that Skarna which can block for him as well. RNG need to find a way to engage onto this Twitch reliably, otherwise they will assassinate the Ziggs and the Corki. The Twitch, once they pop that ult, is really long range, and if they find a good angle and gets around the minefield, Shire could really take over this game.
I also want to note that, again, you can absolutely assassinate the double scary, like long range carries because you just walk up with Q, right? I will also note Meteor hasn't strictly locked to jungler yet. I know Twitch jungle is more of a solo queue meme in some ways that you have to play super aggro early, but there is still that flexibility there. I'm expecting AD carry. Just want to point out there is still that strict opportunity there should they wish to go for it. Brand was left up and available. They're thinking about locking in a farming jungler and can be pretty nasty for the Twitch to manage it because you can't run away from the burn. You can't go invisible from that one if it's already on you.
But it is still a really low-range composition. If Shaya has ult and has himself a decent amount of follow-up, and if someone Meteor picks up that ult as well, this is going to get really bursty out of nowhere. Because what happens if you do have Twitch running forwards, popping out of invisibility with a Karthus ult on top of it?
Boy.
Someone is dying. That is actually a scary composition from LGD, and I like it.
And I think especially with the way Rel works right now, she's not that tanky early on. The Renekton as well, not a huge builder of resist, gets some HP and maybe some steel caps, but your third item at best before you got something like a Randuin's to your name. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, if this Twitch gets fed, if this Karthus gets fed, you can absolutely shred someone who's on the wrong end of that spray and pray.
Okay, you know what? I think there are a lot of things that you can't attribute to Fearless Draft in regards to, you know, just the meta being very different from side to summer. This one, I think, is a little bit of Fearless Drafting. I think you look at that and you say, all right, okay, you've picked some different stuff, you've banned away a lot of champions, I can't play one of my big AD carries too. Let's do something like this. We're not going to pick this area. We're going to pick the Twitch. I really like the Twitch here. I think that this was a highly underutilized pick against Smolder back in spring. I think, we saw Abel alone. Abel played one game of it, and it was kind of crap. I'm going to throw that one out there.
It was almost great.
But I really like this in the draft. The Karthus Twitch, even with nothing to buff up the Twitch, I think it makes an awful lot of sense. I think if you just pop both ults from Jungle AD Carry, I think the Ziggs and the Corki just die.
Sometimes when you are looking for that miracle pick, you just have to spray and pray. There you go, a little bit of something special here, cooked up from LGD's rookie bot laner. Xiaoyu coming up from the LDL, making me smile, doing me proud. Very happy to see him on, what is it, it's the Safecracker Twitch?
Safecracker, that's the one.
That's the one. It's the shared splash up with Evelyn, I believe.
Yes, it is. That's very cool. The kind of like the more comical thief variety. I appreciate it. See if they can... They wouldn't be a stealing of this series. I think they would be actually well earned. Game 1, they had to kind of steal it back again. If they win this, they again put themselves into question, at least with Team WE currently, for top 2 of Group B. They are clearly, these two teams, they have been behind the top runners of WE and BLG, but can they close the gap?
For RNG, losing. A team like LGD, when they want to get towards higher standings, could be a disaster. 0-3, they need more than that. And the Gyro is still hotly contested here. RNG well supported despite their woes. One of those teams that has such legendary status. Of course, originally Starhorn Royal Club before they renamed over to RNG many moons ago now. They have been one of the great clubs of the LPL for many, many years, even if over the last couple it feels like a lot of that prestige is beginning to wear a little thin.
Ooh, interesting from Shaya. Walking forward with the ambush first. Intriguing. Interesting.
Yeah, it's quite...
very compelling. What was
Very compelling? Who says that?
No, perchance.
Perchance, yes. Perchance.
You can't just say perchance. I think you'll find I can. Anyway, Shaya, doing... Wait, he has teleport on Twitch as well. Go, folks, there's going to be some weird stuff.
Yes.
Press the attack, good on Twitch. Starting ambush level 1, wanting to run at them. If they misuse their cooldowns, this is going to be really dangerous.
Sneaking up, a chance to dream, a double pulverize. Wanfeng down to 20% HP. Will be forced to flash out. Jinzhao burns the flash himself, but that feels pretty good. This poor Ziggs has to be in a pretty precarious position.
Man, RNG just aren't used to the stinkiness, man. They're not ready for the stinky strat. Because every time Twitch is in meta, you have to ask, has he started Q? The Q start on Twitch is so dangerous. I remember back in Season 4, it was the one game which SKT T1K took off of Samsung White in that summer run was Zillion Twitch, with
yes,
Twitch running mid lane at level 1 to mess over a lane. You can do that still, even if it isn't bot lane. You gotta be careful not to misuse stuff like the Aftershock, your first CC from Ming, and of course Wanfeng's bombs. That to me was just a huge misuse of their abilities.
They've just opened TikTok again and Pedro's playing. Every time the Q comes on down, it's just another TikTok surprise for Wanfeng, who's had enough of this. He needs to go back to other social media and return a little later having detoxed.
That's great, Sam. That's great. Yeah. Well, I mean, early lane has gone so well for LGD, burning Huanfeng's flash burning the teleport as well. Now, Xiaoya also went for the teleport. This is going to be so interesting. We could get some really weird plays late game where Xiaoya teleports onto a hidden ward and then uses that to flank on the Twitch or just get around the minefield and stuff like that. Really want to see how this works out. I hope it works, Sam, because if it doesn't, it's going to look really awkward when they just walk straight into a brand and get splattered. Where he's going to walk up, has double buffs, Xiaoya's going to spot them. Not seen on the ward. Hey, you don't want to fight a double off level 4 brand right now.
Yeah, oh, maybe he does. He dodges the Q. That's not bad. I think there's still going to be a Pillar of Flame coming on down. Ming does have a speed up, the ability to come crashing down with a bit of Ferromancy. Only gets onto Jinzhao, and Meteor's coming on down. I think Jinzhao's still dead, but the turnaround could be pretty scary. Now, Meteor's just too late, I think, unfortunately. Ming should be able to mount back up and get to the speed boost.
Xiaoya doesn't even have level 3. I don't know whether he took the Expunge or the Venom Cast?
It's the Venom Cast, yeah.
Second. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the full... I don't know why you're taking a fight at level 2 on your Twitch.
Meteor would get there faster?
Well, Sam, they thought wrong. They thought very wrong, and it means that you've given a kill over the way on the brand who potentially could blow up a lot of the rest of the team. Meteor is going to walk bot side. Huanfeng doesn't have flash, but he's already pushed in the wave. And LGD, yeah, I don't know what was up with that.
That was after a fantastic levels 1 through 2. I wanted to say 3, but Xiaoya hadn't got there. Make a bit of an unforced error, I think it's fair to say, to borrow some tennis parlance. You expect a little bit better, honestly, from our players at the LPL level. And Wei quite gratefully picking up what was a drive-by kill.
Okay, so LGD, good bot side control, but then they kind of messed that one up. What's the next play? Of course, Xiaoya still has wave control, and Huanfeng's been denied a fair amount of CS. We're waiting to see what the item build will be. I don't know if you need Blade. It's really good for the slow.
Rage Blade
the thing is,
nice.
I think actually just having the Blade. Well, I don't really like Blade Rage Blade. I feel like
a lot of Twitch players are still doing that though.
So I get that. I really feel like stuff like Kraken Slayer and Phantom Dance are really powerful too.
Yeah.
But then also Infinity Edge as an individual, I'm always good for Twitch. And of course, you need Hurricane at some point.
Yeah. Maybe it's Blade Infinity Edge Hurricane.
I think in this game, getting to Hurricane second, I think is non-negotiable. I think that is so important for getting damage across the team. Especially if you want to combo for AoE with the carters. But again, we will see the wisdom of Xiaoya and what he is teaching us about the Rat Man.
We'll keep an eye, of course, Twitch, much like things like the Ezreal, the Kai'Sa, often known for having quite versatile build paths.
Yeah, so what was fun to me is that, so last time Twitch came up, when Abel played it in spring, I was sat there like, well, what's he going to build? He's going to build blah, blah, blah. And he built, like, Blade, Rage Blade, when the consensus was that was a bad build at the time. Sometimes that also just happens, too. We'll see, basically, whether he wants to be single target damage or whether he wants to be more AoE. I think that just having the assassination potential can be very valuable in its own right. So, LGD waiting on those items all the same. Xiaoya has survived the early lane. Twitch has often been a champion which can struggle to do that. And actually, with him being ahead, it means that Jinzhao can start roaming about. So that Xiaoya is now on the map now, getting to the point where he can queue into a lane. He's gone for the recurve bow first. And that can, I mean, that goes into Blade. So.
It goes into Blade, Nash's, if you really want AP, but I doubt that. He's not gone for that.
If you don't have Halo Blade,
also goes, Blade or Kraken Slayer seems to be the most normal first item right now, by the looks of it. But we'll talk about that a little later as Ming. And just to get on out there, Haichao actually chunked out pretty heavily himself. Needs to be a bit afraid. There's a flash and a Frost Bomb available. Haichao continues to run away with the turnaround, pretty choose. Jinzhao flashes the flash, has got himself a blast cone, and times out the brand passive. Meteor is here, would love to come and smite this, but he's kind of trapped in an awkward position. Huanfeng's coming on over, can still smite, does so. Dragon secured, fight now occurring as Wei goes down. Dragon and a kill, you'll lose your card, but the damage back is huge. Flash on forward, fully auto from Xiaoya, who now gets another ambush, and Ming might be feeling a little less than merciful as he needs to be taken down. A headbutt, a pulverize, an expunge is still available, another kill. Jinzhao goes down, Huanfeng's got a better HP bar, and I think that ends up being a 2 for 3 in favor of LGD.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that 1 and 2 of those kills go to Xiaoya. The unsung hero is Jinzhao though. For the support, that Alistar blocking at the start, setting up at the end, does go down, but really giving gold over to a lot of the right places. Big problem with this is actually a lot of the gold on the other side goes to Huanfeng, who was shut out of the game, and now the Ziggs is very much back. Jinzhao, as we were saying though, starts things off well, uses that aftershock, catches out Ming, and means that he can't immediately engage on the other side. And then the fight extends to the point where you're seeing multiple cooldowns coming through from our big supports. Flashes out of Wei's big combo. He uses the ult on that play too. How big would that have been if that was available for this play just afterwards? Because of the work of Jinzhao, it does mean that Xiaoya's very happy to walk up and make big plays like this again.
Fantastic stuff. And then Wei goes down, and they still get the dragon. It ends up being a 3 for 2, and that's pretty okay. And Xiaoya picking up gold himself. In some ways, I think if you're the Twitch, you're happy to trade kills because you want those item spikes more than most AD carries in the world, frankly. You are so reliant on being an item delivery system.
It's just that now Huanfeng is actually ahead in gold. I'm just sat down, just like, well, you did a really good job of shutting down the Ziggs. I guess one of the bonuses, again, most of the time, Twitch sucks in lane. It's one of the reasons we never see him. He's just so hard to play in lane, but I guess if this is a pick which they've been preparing for the Ziggs and it gets through that early lane, yeah, if both of you have gold, then the question gets really interesting. Who's getting more out of being hyper-fed? They both have 2-0 and 1 scorelines. That's good scorelines.
My initial thought is probably the Twitch, especially because Twitch is so used to being a bit behind. It's just once he hits level 6 to 11 with an item, 2 items, he pops off regardless. And if you can start finding potentially these combos, like, okay, well, if we're just laning as is, it sucks. But if we can force these crazy level 1s, force these all-ins where the ambush comes on through and your rangers, the Ziggs, particularly pre-satchel charge, is punishable, then maybe, just maybe, we might start seeing a little bit more of this as the kind of counter pick that Twitch can be so deadly as.
Okay, folks, we have another important breakpoint, of course. We saw Wei use his ultimate in that last fight. Meteor has a big ult to throw at some point.
Yes.
Next time Xiaoya goes into an ambush from Fog of War, this guy could very much assassinate someone with his first ult, combo up with Meteor's first ult. Wei is on vision, and every time this happens, you got to ask questions. When's the Karthus ult coming through? Ming has also roamed his way up, looking to force something on top side.
Oh, what would you know? Top laners actually exist, but here comes Meteor.
Oh, they should know something's up. They see a very recent ward place. They should know this is happening.
Okay.
Birdall lets the wave hit tower.
Not that much to be done. It's a good impale. Gets 2. Can start to E into the wall. The damage is still going to be huge, but ZDZ goes towards the enemy team. Has to flash out from the headbutt pole, but does stay alive.
Birdall just lets the wave hit tower, and it means that RNG don't take aggro on the way in. It was not an awful response for him, but RNG, end of the day, walk away with a kill. They lose a couple of summoners and an ult or 2, but that's about it. I think they're fairly happy with it.
Boy.
Maybe less happy because EDZ is overstayed.
Yeah, he tried to save for the wave, and now we'll be in danger. The slow comes on down. The headbutt pulverized. Meteor going to continue autoing. The ignite is there. A final Q will do it, and the bowling ball brings down a Skittle.
And it's going to be Dark Harvest stack coming in for Meteor as well. Be happy with that one. Teven takes himself 75 gold from the cannon. Oh, beautiful. I have to say, it's a really nice thing to see LPL junglers be like, well, okay,
gonna get on the dead body from Xiaoya.
No. Yeah, it's onto the ward, and he's managed to get himself out of vision. No. But we did say, hey, Xiaoya, he has himself teleport. Where's he going to use that? RNG won't have known he used this just yet. If they commit somewhere on top side, they're going to get caught up by Xiaoya. I appreciate this. This isn't going to lead to anything. No. But next time, it might, and it will be very funny.
If they had decided to contest there, it could have been interesting. Actually, they still don't quite know. I think they will do now, as he is spotted on the wave.
Xiaoya has gone towards that Blade first, so that'll be a big power spike. Because again, Blade, once you start rattling through those autos, can get the slow on auto. It means that you're stuck into the firing range of him. If he hits that Venom Cask and then hits a couple of autos afterwards, huge damage is going to come through. I think the turnaround damage from RNG is going to be really important to track, because if they can just immediately flash onto the Twitch as he comes through, maybe that'll change things. Teleporting onto bot tower. Haichao might just get dove and die here. Jin Zhao needs to move over quickly. He has flash.
Oh boy. Haichao can theoretically accelerated shock blast a lot of this wave down. Steps on forward, trying to clear this out. He's got to know he's in danger now. He's got a flash and a dream. There's the flashback. The sword flash back on now. Dodges the E with a fantastic to the skies himself. The dodges it. Oh! The satchel charge nearly into it. It's enough of a burn.
And Wei's going to take aggro, but that might actually end up costing his life. Jin Zhao has flash. I think they can look for a big play here. And Karthus has ult. I'm so surprised that Jin Zhao didn't go harder for that, because he could have flashed onto the first target, killed with the Karthus ult. I wonder if that's a miscalculation. They just want to focus on the dragon. So, okay, they say, all right, let's not waste too many of our summoners and spells. Let's just make sure we can get the objective, which is more important right now.
Tango needs to be a little bit careful stepping up there. Loses the ward. Xiaoya clears the wave in mid lane, and in the end, it ends up being 1 for the dragon. Of course, a couple key summoners pop there. Ming and Wei both burning the flash to try and get Haichao, and they do succeed.
They do. LGD, a couple of times now where they've been slower on the sideline, slower on the map. RNG, credit to particularly Ming from making, and Wei to making the way to those plays. And, even if they were not perfect dives, they still get the 1 for none. They're losing out on objectives. They do have even spread of the grubs, but it feels a little bit awkward giving over 2 dragons to a composition which are very happy to give up positioning on dragons if you overforce to stop a soul point, because they can just flank you with a Twitch later on. So they need to be very careful of their objective setups. I think LGD at this point are going to start getting to the point where they can start assassinating in the group that fights.
Gold lead is even enough, a slight lead to RNG, and importantly, actually, a lot of gold into the Ziggs. That's matched pretty well by Xiaoyi, but you can see 3 kills for one, 2 for the other, both of these carries at a point where they are going to hit pretty hard if they get the opportunity to unleash their full arsenals.
And once again, RNG just a little bit quicker on side lanes. Get a play onto Tanuen using those 3 grubs fairly well. Haichao will be able to clear some of the wave with the shock blast. Gets the cannon, so that means there's some gold taken away. But it's still plate gold over to Tanuen. Has himself a slight lead on the Corki. The Corki's going to have a hard game. He's gone for, of course, the Triforce build. Feels like the lethality world is sort of dead, I think, with the nerfs on... Maybe it's on 14-12. Feels like this champion is just not really building towards that anymore. And he's quite low range with the Triforce build. And when you're going into low range, into the Karthus and the Twitch, that can be a big problem. Even into the Jace, you can get some issues thrown your way.
Yeah, stops the reset being as clean as they'd like. And I'll also note at this point, we're in a bit of pretty interesting position as well, where like the Corki is going to start having a side lane and realizing there's a Twitch on top of him. You can't vault far enough away to get out of range of the Twitch at that point. Make it quite tricky as a Herald spawning, and they looks like we're going to see a fight.
Birdle's on the flank. Everyone is within the same part of the map. Shai has used his Q. It's a long cooldown. If he doesn't get anything out of this, it's going to be hard for him to enter the fight. Indeed, not going to get that much out of it. Shai, not going to open up just yet.
Just be a bit careful. Ming can still potentially commit. The Venom cast tags ZDZ, but no one particularly valuable at this one. Tangy went off vision on a flank option. There's the speed up. Herald's about to lose her patience and go back to the pit. Had enough of these people coming on in uninvited.
See that actually, some of the poke coming through from Brand, from Corki Rockets is still going to be quite nasty. Shao, yeah, has his Q on again. Really trying to use that ambush to the best it can. Ming has flash. Hex flash.
Get in. The damage on the Jinzhou goes on in. Good flash back out. Wei's in danger though. The turnaround from Ming splits the supports apart. One down. Likely Jinzhou on the other side. Big damage onto the Karthus, but now the turnaround is huge. It's a 2 for 2. Make that a 3 for 2.
And the fight from LGD finally comes through. They use their big ultimates. Meteor dies, yes, but he gets a kill from beyond the grave. Ming couldn't close down the Twitch. No one else could get in range of them. And Shia walks away with a load of extra damage from that fight yet again. The Herald isn't taken because both smites are down. I guess that's maybe a bonus for RNG because next fight they won't have to deal with the rat-a-tat-tat spray and pray. And of course that Requiem as well.
Well, look at the replay here, because actually credit to Jinzhou just makes Wei's life hell.
I was seeing like the cooldown off of Ming. I was like, oh, he has flash. I'm like, no, that's actually still a Hex flash, which means that he can't quite get into the backline as easily. Misses out on Shia. He tries to, you know, CC everyone just in front of this choke point so the carries of RNG could get something done. But you can see right now, basically as Ming goes in, it's just him and ZDZ. A little bit of damage from Tanuen. The team fights again from both these teams, not as clean as we would like.
Still, the gold now going to pretty scary places on both sides. Brand's got a couple kills. Karthus in the same vein. Xiaoyi at 3-0-3 is going to be a menace in this mid game where Twitch is arguably at his strongest.
So, Shia teleporting back in. Remember, he has that again. He has his ult again. He's very close, actually. Well, no, he's not that close, but he's one level off, rather. His second rank of his ult. Every time you level up that spray and pray, you get yourself extra AD when you cast it, which is really, really nice. He's going towards Zeolite in second. Might actually be the Hurricane instead of something like that Rage Blade, which you were wondering about a little earlier. Again, this is the first Twitch we've seen in a while. Got to question what these players want to get out of the champion.
Could be Hurricane still, I suppose. I think.
Yes, that's what it said.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
Sorry, for some reason I heard Rage Blade. And I was like, what?
No, I did say Rage Blade, and that they're not building it.
Yeah, that's what it was. Good. There we go. Yeah.
Anyway, finally, LGD get themselves onto a side lane turret themselves. Birdle's going to clear out top side. That will save the tower there. But it does feel like, on the whole, LGD have not been that skilled at playing around side lanes. Last game for... Oh, hang on a second. That's Wei going right on top of Xiao.
Oh, needs to flash out. Damage back is huge. Wait for the Mega Inferno Bomb. Need to try and make for that. Oh, so it's actually already used. I apologize. That explains a lot of the damage coming on down. I'm thinking, wow, Xiao, you get so low.
Well, that is Wei flexing the muscles. Big item spike with the Brand Leandri's power spike and burns down Shia. Doesn't kill him, but takes him off the board. With the Herald on the field,
no TP.
And that means that RNG are going to get themselves probably mid lane turrets. They have the Zig Satchel to be able to cast it. That's going to be that one. Jinzhou Hex flashing forward. They can't fight without Shia. Come on.
Behind. Actually, they used a lot of ultimates here. Bird will get to the backline and cause some serious trouble. Flash away keeps him outside of the Impale angle, which could have proved deadly. Gonna get the Impale regardless. It means it's a stun for a stun. Birdle low, not quite down, but the burn is absolutely foul. It's a 1-for-1.
1-for-1, but the tower goes down. RNG, I think they're still happy with how things are happening, because Tanyuan doesn't have the teleport, can't join the play, but can stay in a side lane. So he's going to get himself a wave into that top lane in a turret, and that's going to be some gold lost by LGD. Again, it's just not quite clean on the entrance to the plays and the setup. The fact that Shaya almost gets burned down and then LGD have to take the first part of that fight without him is a problem. RNG still have themselves a lot of HP on the rest of the members, even though ZDZ died, which means that they can go towards the dragon. But there's only they're only here as 2 people.
They had to reset afterwards because of everything else happening, but they're still doing a fair amount of damage back. Shaya unleashes briefly. Wei, remember, no flash. But there's still no... Oh, actually, there is just the ultimate up now for Shaya as well. Could prove pretty scary.
All right. I was sat there like, I got a second, surely they die here. But I think Wei is so threatening that they can't actually stand there as that amount of people. Right, Shai, gonna wait until his next cooldown of ambush. Once that is up again, he'll be looking to go into position. Doesn't have flash. Ming does have flash. If Shai comes out of ambush too close to the rail, that could be fight over for the little rat.
Stay here. Birdle on a flank angle. ZDC coming on over. Hex flash in from Jinzhao. Gets on in. Then the spray and pray can begin. Damage onto Jinzhao, who just disappears.
Shaya wasn't in range. She's going to get caught out as well.
No.
No flash on the rat. The Twitch mispositions and LGD lose the fight.
It was a nice idea from Jinzhao, but again, Xiaoya couldn't quite get close enough. The wall of pain was down, but the issue we're now seeing is the front line isn't particularly tanky from LGD at this point.
And it's also, well, I mean, Jinzhao didn't have the ult, so he couldn't go in and fully tank up, and it felt like feels like the coordination between frontline and backline was just really poor there from LGD. RNG quick response though. Ming managing to get through onto the Twitch alongside ZDZ. That's kind of their public enemy number 1. Shaya on that Twitch is so powerful if he can actually fire. See here, Jinzhao goes forward for a big hex flash, and he gets onto the brand, but not onto Tainuan, and he doesn't have the ult, immediately dies. And while this is happening, Meteor and Shaya don't get enough done. ZDZ gets himself the slice and dice, gets right on top of Twitch through the dragon. Shaya mispositioning and chose a poor angle.
I can see what he's looking for there, but the moment the Alistair dies, that, well, now I'm dead. It's like, it's very swiftly goes from position to mispositioning in a very short amount of time.
Shaya going towards the... Oh, it's the slingshot thing. Hang on a second. Let's go for a fire cannon. That'd be a bit weird. I don't know,
it's not
man.
Phantom Dancer, is it?
That doesn't build out of that. It's got to be one of the energized items. You know what, folks? I'm just going to stop guessing at this point. Buddy, I haven't played enough AD carries on this patch to know what that damn item goes into. If it's still built into Runa, that's good. I thought that only built into the fire cannon and Shiv nowadays, though, so I was like,
I thought it was still in Runas, but we'll double check.
Anyway, Birdle's going towards mid lane, can't find anything yet. Birdle on the Skarner, not had the best engages again. Okay, good. Right, sweet, cool. I was there like, I got Runas is not RNG. Ignore me. Yeah, build change, apparently. There you go. Still Hurricane. Nice.
ZDZ looking to finally claim this turret. Birdle's going to get on over here, throwing up people and not do much else.
Well, Birdle's not been doing a whole lot of much in this game. His engages have been
mixed,
not great. He's been left isolated in the front line. I think both him and Jinzhao have been struggling to engage in a time where their carries can actually do damage, because that's the job of a front line. You're not there to kill everyone. You got to be there so someone can get the kills for you.
That's much more like it. Blade and Hurricane means ZDZ's got nowhere to go. Tries to get some healing back. It's pretty solid. The next sponge can come on through. That got close for a second.
That was a bit scary, but the good thing is Shaya has teleport as the AD carry. Even though RNG are burning down Baron, they can bring back the Twitch after the recall. RNG want to force a fight, but they might be in a 5v4.
There's Shaya teleporting back in. Doesn't have the spray and pray, though. That can be pretty key here. Can going down. The Baron still being fought over. Meteor secures it. They get a kill on the Rel afterwards. And then comes the Requiem damage. Not quite enough to kill off anybody else, though.
It doesn't kill off anyone, but it does stop RNG from looking for the fight. So, after using the teleport assassin AD carry, LGD get themselves a kill on bot side, go towards top side, and they get themselves another kill onto Ming. That leads to the Baron being taken, and LGD should now be able to get some control over those side lanes that they were struggling to do so beforehand. This might just be what they needed.
Hurricane's in, the attack speed's there. This is how you can play the side lanes with this comp. Just bring the Twitch there and press R from Karthus if you need the extra damage. And it works out really well. ZDZ nearly survives, nearly gets to go through a 1-for-1. It doesn't happen, and they lose the 4-4 at Baron.
And, you know, the logic is sane when you look towards, hey, we're losing a kill bot side, let's start Baron. But the AD carry has the teleport. That's one of the different points in this calculation. Jinzhao has ult this time, and actually can be someone who stops Wei from following up on Ming's engage. And this is a problem from which LGD had just earlier. Their front line and their back line not being able to combo up to a point where they can actually do damage. Happens to RNG this time.
It does, and now they've got Baron. They get an extra kill against the The Renekton, they're in a position now where this Karthus is at 2 items and able to return the fire. Haichao's at 2.5. The Twitch is about as online as Twitch is going to get.
Yeah, feels like RNG need to be really careful. If they get themselves a good kill right now, maybe they can stop the side lane push coming in from LGD, but they need to find a fight very quickly, force someone out of position.
Erdol might not be the easiest target. Still feels like he has to flash there. I'm assuming the E was on cooldown.
We're going to have seen that too. Haichao takes himself a turret there. It's going to help LGD play around top side of the map later into the game. Shaya has his flash back up, has his ult back up, and of course, as we said, has himself that Rune Hands a second item. Meteor, when he has his ult next up and Shaya starts going in, remember that big AoE combo. It's going to be absolutely nasty.
Okay. Eyes down towards this bot lane where the dragon is spawning. It is currently 2 dragons to 1. The last dragon was secured by RNG. Wei has flash. Need to be a little bit careful stepping
Those
into the
flashes
jungle
are so important because you have Renekton with flash, you have Ming and Wei with flash too. So all of the big burst and the big follow-up CC can come through from RNG in onto a target like Shaya, who is not tanky. Birdle doesn't have flash right now. Maybe he can get caught out too. Shaya, how's he positioning?
He's got flash himself, maybe forced to pop it. There's nothing like a Mikhail's here to cleanse any CC, so it does have to be very careful. Ambush popped again. Ming gets over the wall from the headbutt pulverize. Shiny looking for an angle. It's very deep. Needs to think about backing on out.
He's got to be so careful of popping out of invis right next to the Rel. He has flash. He can flash away from parts of this, but don't know whether he can flash away from everyone. So, LGD, because of this dance and because of Shaya on the flank, get themselves an inroad on mid lane. They might be able to take mid turret, and Shaya can come back with ambush and go back towards the dragon.
Around the back. This is going to be a bit deep. They don't have wards here, so there's Twitch completely off vision.
Vision, but he might run into ZDZ. ZDZ's flanking, he's checking this. You can see him right now. Here comes the Karthus ult.
Look at this force it now. There's ZDZ. There goes Shiny, who's jumped on immediately. But the damage in some ways might already be done. Dragon secured. 1 kill back. Make that a 2 for 2. The fight can still commence. Damage is pretty good. Haichao, though, very, very low. Meteor, though, very high HP, proves very difficult to manage. They killed Xiaoye, but it meant they couldn't defend the front line.
It means that Xiang Yuan caught by the wall of pain, but he does have a couple of auto attacks to bring to bear. Haichao sticks to leave mid lane. It's a 2v3. LGD looking to delay as much as anything else.
Birdle jumped on. He just takes so much damage. He's gone.
He gets his shield broken by the empowered W Renekton. Birdle doesn't know the Renekton tech. The anti-shield of the W. LGD, they kind of mess up the team fight. Shaya does die very, very easily. Goes out way too close to the enemy team. Means that LGD don't get a clean victory, but they still get the dragon. They still get the mid lane turret. It's not the best situation they could have got for, but I suppose it's a slim win for them, considering the net gains from both teams. Going back to the replay, just look, Shaya has flash, but you know the Renekton and the Rel have flash too. Why, oh why, are you walking this close to the most threatening people on the other range? Why are you walking this close? You have an ultimate, which means you can play half the screen away from them. This, to me, is a huge misplay from Shaya in one of the most important fights of the game. It still ends up being even-ish in the fight, but Shaya could have made this so much easier.
And credit to ZDZ and Ming for insta-flashing there. They knew exactly what the assignment was. The problem was, though, that in some ways the damage was still done. Because Shaya was there, the front line isn't there to defend their back line. A Meteor on the other side proves deadly enough untouched on the other side for the Karthus, so it still works. It just was very bloody risky.
Yeah, it was, but that's been one of the problems with the team fights between these two teams. It really does feel like the team fights have not been easy to come by for either of them. LGD, in the first game, had a huge lead, almost threw it away. Now, LGD, they do have themselves, again, a slim gold advantage. Haichao has picked up a load of side lane gold and a load of tower gold, which means he now really hurts. Maybe that can change things. Haichao, MVP of game 1, can really help. And remember, every time one of these big fights comes through, another big shock blast or whatever, Karthus on top of it, almost with a death cap, could also seal things off too.
3 items on Haichao, who's had a quiet game on the Jace, but now his Cyril is complete on top of Opportunity and the Muramana. I think this Jace is going to start hitting a lot of the people who, again, don't really want to be dealing with the poke damage.
Man, I don't think RNG have been particularly prepared well for the Karthus Twitch impact on side lanes. No. I do think that LGD have also not played well on side lanes, which is a problem, because their composition needs a lot of that. But when you have so many big items coming through them, you don't always need to play it well. You just need to play it. You just have to make the play. Even if it's scuffed, it can make a big value. Shoya has flash, has TP. One of the big things here is that, of course, there are no flashes on the big engaged threats from RNG onto the Twitch because they used it to kill him the last time. Maybe that means the next fight will go much better.
And Xiaoya still has his flash. This could prove quite difficult. I think, in some ways, perhaps Xiaoya willing to trade his life there. worked out well enough.
CDZ hanging about on the flank. He's caught out now. He has no flash.
Boy, didn't know the Twitch was there. Has to pop ultimate down to about half HP, not down. Xiaoyu didn't pop ult. Worth noting. Now pops the spray and pray. The damage doing obscene work into Ming, who is brought down with a burn and a little bit of poison in his veins.
Meteor, disciplined on the ultimate, could have pulled it out. He still has the Karthus ult to bring it through if he wants. Remember, Baron is alive. RNG losing across the map here means that LG might just be able to take the Baron.
They get huge chunks. They get back out, having taken the tier 2. It can look to set up around the Baron with the damage in many ways done. Flash off Wei, flash off Wanfeng, and Ming dead.
I think ZDZ just kind of lost the plot a little bit in regards to where the Twitch could be. Caught out too far from his team. And remember, there are some wards here from RNG, but they don't have the Renekton, and Xiaoyu still has flash. That is so dangerous.
He's not TPing on that ward, decides against it. They still know what's going on. They know the Baron's going on down. Tang Yuan going to step on forward down to 2,000 HP, and it's gone. Cannot get a rocket on target, and LGD take the win and get on out of dodge.
And they're going to get a full team of Barons. That's a really important thing. They can, again, go towards the side lanes in a way that the competition should be able to play. I think LGD have struggled with that. We've said that multiple times this game. But it should be enough to really overpower things now. Lord Dominic's regards brought up for Xiaoyu. The front line from RNG is going to absolutely evaporate. And I think that's exactly what you can do. Just pull all of your ultimates onto the first target. You don't even need to kill the Ziggs at this point. You kill the poor Renekton stood in front of them. I think ZDZ's even had a good game, but will it be enough? 40 seconds to kill the Dragon. LGD, they might not be able to set up the map completely in time for this with their waves. Might have one last fight in it.
Third item complete for Twitch. The LDR is in. Xiaoyu now able to shred those frontliners even more.
Meteor has a hat.
Oh, so he does. And 9 stacks on a Dark Seal.
Yeah, that's a lot of AP. So, Meteor, haven't necessarily seen the game changing. Ults from the Karthus. Tang Yuan trying to get himself into a position of danger as well.
Budget Twitch cosplay.
Budget Twitch cosplay. Not sure. It's not a manatee, it's a rat. He's been flying it all along. Xiaoyu slightly back behind the team again. Again, still has that flash, but Ming and CDC have theirs yet again. So it's not the case where the Twitch can just pop out of invis and expect to keep distance with his own flash. Watch for the engage from RNG again.
Way down to half HP already, though. Huge damage from this chase into the Requiem is going to cause so much strife. The burn out of Ming gets in. Damage value onto Meteor. Can he get? Doesn't matter. High Child's gone. Jin Chao's in the backline. 2 dead. Dragon down. And the burn is solid. ZDZ goes in. Murders multiple. Xiaoyu try to unleash. Try to heal through everyone. Flash over the wall. The damage from the Venom cast might be enough. Birdle and Junjiao just about alive. Tang Yuan is there, and eventually an upheaval claims the kill.
Xiaoyu's going to teleport back in. It's the teleporting carry.
No.
The rat's going to be back.
His satisfaction brings it back alongside everything else. Another Venom cast. There's nowhere to go. Tang Yuan has jumped on Wanfeng. Tries to unleash. Satchel charges away, and it's just not enough. LGD gets all. LGD get the fight, and Xiaoyu's teleport Twitch wins the fight.
Rat Attack Episode 2. Xiaoyu comes out of the shadows and has a slightly better second part of that fight. I'm really surprised that ZDZ managed to get onto the Twitch with the flash while he just managed to use this at the start of the fight again. RNG showcasing that actually when they have the flashes up on the Rel and on the Renekton, they can get into the right places. Ming doesn't quite, again, get into the right place alongside the rest of the team's damage. It does get the Ziggs combo on top, but it's not quite enough. ZDZ is really the core of this team fight, though. This Renekton has done an unreal amount of work. You know what, ZDZ? Credit to you. This guy was, again, removed from Weibo. He was traded onto RNG, and he's had a lot of reputation to recover. This Renekton game from here on an individual level has actually been really good. As he dies at the end, but it's been really good on the whole.
Exactly that. And then Xiaoyu gets to teleport back in, and again, couldn't quite kill off the Twitch, means they can teleport back in with a full HP. Wanfeng tries, but there's just not enough left in the tank in what turns into a 1v3.
Big problem now, again, is RNG don't have the flashes to make that play again. They have one flash on Tang Yuan, and they have Wei's flash coming up shortly. Does feel like LGD have the summoner spell economy advantage as it has stands.
Oh, and then, of course, the other thing is Bertel can try doing that, but the Zhonya's with well-timed. Actually, now Bertel in danger, about to get burned down, does so. Damage back is huge. Meteor down to half HP. The burn is unreal, even with the Ocean Soul. Ming's going to try and step on forwards. Tango tries to get on in there, but gets some burn on the Alistair. The damage back from the Requiem should pop a couple back.
He gets 2 out of that. Oh
Holy moly.
That one's some divine intervention. The front line from LGD gets shattered, but RNG can't stand and fight afterwards. It's another even fight. It's been a mess these series so far. The Ocean Soul from LGD keeping some people topped up as well. With the health bars just being recovered from that, means they will get to take themselves a couple of turrets too.
Xiaoya's still here. Remember, he does not have the ult anymore. Big shock blast.
Yeah, the hubris is built in for Haichao, and he just got himself some recent kill participation, so throw some extra damage on there from the AD, from the not quite Magi's for the AD variety.
No.
LGD, look, I'm not going to say this is the cleanest game ever. They do, however, have themselves really big points of power, and the damage coming through now is absolutely absurd. From Haichao, who had a rougher early game, his shock blasts have been really key. You can see that they're walking forward with the wall of pain and trying to use big combos like this. Bertolt, buddy, I appreciate the play. Don't do it onto a target with Zhonya's. Gonna throw that one to you.
And they already E'd to get to the blast code, so didn't even have that available to run away having done this?
Yeah. And then just RNG, I feel like they just get a little bit too hypey after this point. I mean, Xiaoya was still not seen, and that's the problem. This was actually, most of this fight was actually a 4v5, because Xiaoya was just hidden. And he comes out and evens the score.
It's an immortal shield bow for Tango, but he's not able to build anything like a Maw, so actually Meteor just hits it like a truck.
Yeah, and also Meteor, he is an avid reader. He has a Magi's.
Oh, good for him.
You know, if you look in chat, you'll see there's actually a Magi's emote.
Buy the book, guys.
Because that book is, I love reading, Sam. I love reading. God damn, I love stealing souls. It does kind of feel like Meteor feels like he's not going to use his passive much that game.
Speaking of stealing souls, trying to save his soul, Xiaoya with a GA and an Ocean Soul. A lot harder to manage this Twitch. He's got level 16 now as well. That spray and pray is looking mighty like a level spell at this point.
Yeah, Xiaoya, he is ready to drop like successive fireballs leveled up to the max at this point. He is going to be absolutely smattering the enemy team with those hurricane bolts, and it feels like Xiaoya, if you need to flash onto him to win a fight, he might actually be able to survive through that revive now, while the rest of his team cleans up house.
Trying his very best to be very scary indeed.
Okay. So, Baron alive. Fog of War being controlled by LGD. Again, feels like RNG. They need to flash onto the right targets. It's so hard to find out how to engage, though.
Get in here, and Jinzhao's body blocking. Just headbutt away. Flash for the triple pull. Xiaoya is there. The GA, though, is popped. Stays alive. The damage is done. There might be no Iron Team, but the 6, and fuck it. I cast Fireball.
Oh, Xiaoya comes through. He uses the revive. And yeah, maybe they don't care how small the room is. They just want to throw all of the explosives into that just one corridor. RNG, they have been outplayed by LGD. It was close. LGD have been made to work for it. It hasn't been clean from them, but it is a win.
Oh, and that was the combo they're looking for. And they do blow up the wrap, but the problem is the damage is done. It's done. The Hurricane orders come through. The G is there. And there's a mighty thick book of Magi's to go reading on through. LGD, it is not clean, but there is some good play in there too. Deservedly the winners of the series.
Now, Sam, just to make things clear, the phrase is, I don't care how small the room is, I cast Fireball. There are 6 eyes in that, not just, screw it, I cast Fireball. Sam, I appreciate it, but there is a significant difference in letters there. Look, LGD, important victory for them.
I cast Fireball. There was 6 in that, isn't it?
I don't care how small the room is. You forgot half
I forgot
of the
sentence. That's fine.
Yeah, look, Sam, it was fun. LGD, I'm going to say maybe less fun, more scary. That was not a series which is particularly clean. And RNG, a continual downfall for this organization.
Miguel, I had my phrase corrected. I'm sad. I had it so close. It's, the thing is, you're absolutely right. I forgot half the sentence. The point stands. It's okay.
Yeah.
Cut the clip. Don't get this bit in there, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, LGD, walk away.
Now fuck it with like 6 eyes.
They come in and now what? two and 3 are they? 2 and 2. 2 and 2,
I believe.
I believe they're 2 and 2. They lost to, of course, WE and BLG.
Yep.
And the next series up is BLG versus WE. So that means that if WE lose to BLG, it means that it sets up potentially for an upset for LGD to beat that team and go through a second seed from Group B. That would be a huge one. I don't think they're the better team than WE.